Good day, this is me again, Teacher Vicky, and welcome to our English class. We are now in week 6, quarter 3. Our lesson is all about noting details. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain noting details as a comprehension skills, answer who, what, where, when, why, and how questions, and note significant details about a text read. Noting significant details. In reading, you would always encounter two types of text: informational or factual text and literary text. Informational texts provide information or facts about real people, things, or events. Its purpose is to inform or to convince, persuade the target audience. Literary texts are stories about people, animals, or events that is made up by an author. It could be fictional short stories, poems, or dramas, written primarily to entertain the readers. When you are reading both types of text, be aware of the clues or important details that can help you understand what you are reading. This will help you answer any questions about the text when you are done. This skill is called noting details. Noting details is a comprehension skill that involves picking out from a text a particular piece or pieces of information to achieve a given purpose, such as answering questions about it. These details are the ones that good readers notice, and authors use to emphasize the events and the characters in the story for a literary text, and facts and information for an informational text. So details are divided into two. The first one is implicit details. These details are used to describe or to define a general state. These are the details that we cannot really see. These are details that are implied but not plainly expressed. You need to make inferences and draw conclusions based on the other details included in the text. Second one is explicit details. So these are the specific details. So the details that we can see and we can read, these details are stated clearly in the text. Example, the trees were swaying wildly outside Anne's window as she prepared for bed. The sky is often lit by lightning followed by a loud thunder. The raindrops can be heard falling on the roof, like little feet running to and from. Okay, so the question is, what time of the day was it? The implicit details, nighttime, and the explicit details, Annie was preparing for bed. Okay, the second question is, what kind of weather was there? Implicit details, stormy, and the explicit details, there was lightning, thunder, and rain. So remember, in noting details, you need to be able to determine both the implicit and explicit details from the text. Implicit details may be noted using the clues from the identified explicit details, as in the example above. It was not stated that it was nighttime, like in question number 1, and the weather is storm or stormy, but it can be derived based on the explicit details written by the author. So we are going to read a story, and you're going to answer some questions after this, okay? The Donkey and the Sponges. A man drove his donkey to the seaside and purchased there a load of salt. The man and the donkey went home at once. While crossing a stream, the donkey stumbled and fell into the water. He lay there for some time until he regained his energy. Upon arising, the donkey was delighted to find that he had lost his burden. After that, the donkey again had a chance to cross the same stream. But this time, he carried a load of sponges. Remembering what happened before, he stumbled intentionally and again fell into the stream. The donkey was surprised when he found out that his load became many times heavier than before. After reading the story, we are now going to answer the questions. Okay, so again, if you need more time to answer this, you may pause the video, okay? Okay, so now I think you are ready to answer these questions. Let's start with number 1. What was the donkey's burden on his first journey? A load of salt, B, a load of hay, or letter C, a load of sponges? The answer is letter A load of salt. Number 2. Why was he delighted after falling into the stream the first time? A. His burden became heavier than before. B. His burden was removed by his master. Or letter C. His burden became lighter than before. The answer is letter C. Number 3. What happened the second time he crossed the stream? A. He purposely fell into the water. B. He accidentally fell into the water. Or letter C. He fell into the water with his master. The answer is letter A. Number 4. Why was the donkey sorry in the end? A. He lost his burden. B. His burden was changed. Letter C. His burden became heavier than before. The answer is letter C. Number 5. What is the lesson of the story? A. Look before you leap. B. Obedience is always rewarded. Or letter C. Doing work the easy way is not always the best way. Yes, it's letter C. So now let's read the text below and answer the questions that follow by writing the letter of the answers on your notebook or your paper. Okay, so let's read the informational text here. Scientists found out that Mercury's atmosphere is very hot. Venus is hot too. Mars and Pluto are too cold, and their atmosphere is made up of too much carbon dioxide, just like those of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The planet Earth, on the other hand, has an atmosphere which is made up of oxygen. Earth also receives enough light and rays from the sun, which makes the planet fit for life. Okay, so I will give you enough time to answer this, or you can always pause the video for you to have enough time or for you to answer these questions. Just write the letter of the correct answer. Okay, so now I think you are ready to answer this or to check. Okay, so let's check. Number 1. What is the selection about? A. Atmosphere of the planets. B. Gases in the atmosphere. Or C. Atmosphere of the Earth. The answer is letter A. Okay, number 2. What do you call a person who studies the planet's atmosphere? A. Scientists. B. Poets. Or letter C. Inventors. The answer is letter A. Number 3. What makes the other planets too cold? A. Enough carbon dioxide. B. Too much oxygen. Or letter C. Too much carbon dioxide. The answer is letter C. Let's move on to number 4. What gas makes up the Earth's atmosphere? A. Carbon dioxide. B. Oxygen. Or C. Nitrogen. The answer is letter B. And the last one, number 5. What makes the planet Earth fit for life? A. Enough light and rays from the sun. B. Less heat, light, and rays from the sun. Or letter C. No heat and light, rays from the sun. The answer is letter A. For this activity, we're going to read a dialogue, or you can read with me, okay? So instead of just listening. Note important details by writing your answers to the questions on the blank after this. Okay, so are you ready? Let's start. This is such an old wall. It is falling and weeds are growing all over. Let us see if there is any living creature here. Hey, look! Something is hiding in that gap. That is a pretty flower growing out of the wall. I think it is the stone crop. My grandmother told us some stories about this strange plant. Look closely. Its tiny leaves are shaped like barrels. They store water in readiness for dry spells. Be careful when you put your hands on old walls. That scorpion bites. Yikes, it is scary. Look at its tail. Why does it curl? Well, it lifts its tail with a poisonous sting. When it is ready to attack anyone foolish enough to touch it. I would rather touch a lizard. Well, you asked for it, and there is one. Look over there. This wall is old, but you can never tell what life lies on it. Now let's try to answer the questions after reading the dialogue. So you can always pause the video for you to have more time to answer these questions. Alright? Now let's answer. Who found the old wall? Of course, Alice and Bert found the old wall. Number 2, how is the old wall described? The old wall is falling and growing with weeds. Number 3, what living things did the two children see on the wall and in between the bricks? They saw a scorpion, and may I add, they also saw the plant, okay, the stone crop. And number 4, what did Alice say about the stone crop? According to her grandmother, it has tiny leaves that look like barrels and they store water in readiness for dry season. So why does the scorpion's tail curl? Its tail has a poisonous sting, and when it's curled, it means it is ready to attack. So now we're going to read carefully the advertisement below. So note important details by writing your answers to the questions on the blank. Okay, so this is the advertisement. Preschool teacher needed. Qualifications: holder of a degree in early childhood education, 20 to 35 years of age, male or female, preferably with at least 1 year relevant teaching experience, with teaching license, let passer. Apply at Sunnybrook Preparatory School, Barangay San Francisco, and look for Miss Cherilyn B. Salve. Competitive salary offered. Okay, so that is the advertisement. Now, let's try to answer the questions. Again, you can pause the video if you need more time to answer. Okay, so let's answer. What job is advertised? Of course, it's preschool teacher. Number 2, what age is preferred? It's 20 to 35 years of age. Is having a teaching experience required? Yes or no? Yes. If the teacher is not a let passer, should he or she apply? No, because it is required that you need to be a let passer. Where will the interested person apply? It is in Sunnybrook Preparatory School at Barangay San Francisco. What do you understand from the phrase competitive salary offered? It means that the salary the employer is offering is equal to or greater than the average salary for the same position. Do not forget to do the quiz and performance tasks in the Google Classroom. Thank you and keep safe. God bless everyone. Bye!